Oh, hello there, vinyl community. It's Jacob coming to you from the Dallas Open Micer YouTube channel. It's the tail end of 2024, and I thought before the year is out, I would jump on the 2024 vinyl tag that was put out by Rob Walker of Greater Manchester. Now, some of these prompts or questions may have passed their expiration date a little bit, or I might not remember the answers, but I'll do my best with them, and I'm going to enjoy myself, and I hope you do too. Got the list right here, and let's find out what I'll be sharing with you. First up, favorite record. I'll go with a couple. I acquired a punk music collection, and well, here they are. I've got these collaborations between Ryan Kidd and Dr. October, and now Ryan's the front man of this outfit, and that good humor and high energy that we've come to know and love from his YouTube channel shines through on these. Lots of terrific goodies that came in the packaging. You got the lyric sheet, a wonderful cartoon image of Ryan Kidd, the human B-side, some delightful photos of the band. Oh, this one has a personal postcard note from Ryan. On this side, it's personal, so I can't share it with you. We've got some cartoons and lyrics. And we've even got this collectible card here with the Dead in Memphis zombie. Absolutely fantastic stuff. All right, let's see what we got next. Next up, a favorite recent purchase. So I'll show you what I picked up yesterday. I stopped by a Half Price Books, and they had a very meager record selection, but saw this was in the clearance, and it was a very nice, absolutely clean living stereo copy of Frankie Carl playing the piano. It's not a solo album. He's got some accompaniment with the piano. Some very delightful jazz guitar playing on here, and the living stereo sounds fantastic when the living stereo record is clean and not scuffed up. And this one it was about as close to mint as you could get from something from 60 plus years ago. And you have these charming ladies on the cover, just making this absolutely delightful clearance bin find. Oh my goodness, my voice is going. I need to take a sip of water. Sounded very gravelly. I think what happened last night when I was going through all of these records, I got a lot of old record dust. Most of my records are old, and sometimes the particles of cardboard. I was combining particles and cardboard into a brand new word, carticles. Anyway, these carticles must have gotten into my nose because I woke up today very stuffy. So next up, an artist that put out 2 albums in a year, and just for added fun, I'll let that year be 1974. But I'm going to pick an artist that had been playing since the 1920s, and we have Joe Venuti here with Zoot Sims, and Zoot Sims is looking really cool right there. But look at how much cooler Joe Venuti is. Absolutely terrific. Now, smoking, of course, is not cool, but you can be cool in spite of the smoking there. It's me being a little bit silly, but it was a very confident-looking man. My chair is squeaking. I hope the microphone's not picking it up too much. Here we have Joe again. This is the first Joe Venuti album I ever picked up with Joe as the leader. I first come across Joe as somebody that played with Bing Crosby, but Here he is once again playing with Zoot Sims. We've got Dick Hyman on piano, Bucky Pizzarelli on guitar, and Milt Hinton on bass. Absolutely fantastic, and a real joy to play those Joe Venuti records from 1974. Next up, if you could only listen to music from one decade, what decade would you pick? Well, if I was going to make a simple choice, I would say the 1950s. But one of the problems with the 1950s is the LP hadn't quite come along yet in the early 50s. So I'm gonna be more specific. I will take my decade in a 10-year chunk. I'll go 1954, which will give me the dawn of the golden age of the LP record. And then I'll take that up to 1963 and get out of there before the Beatles spoil all the fun. Now you may know that this is going to mean that I'm going to have to cut out Billy Joe Shaver for my listening, and Johnny Bush did very little recording in this time period, but I've got those guys stored up in my head from wonderful live shows, and if I ever want to hear them, I just have to close my eyes and travel back in time with my wonderful memories. But what was exciting about the 1950s? The 1940s saw the rise of the long play record, but when the LP records came out, they tended to be in the 10-inch format. But by the mid 50s, we started to get the 12-inch records, which really opened things up for classical recordings. And here's a mid 50s masterpiece. Glenn Gould does take some liberties with Bach's music, but this is something that really could not have been done before the technology became available. The delicate playing on here was something that did not lend itself well to 78 RPM records, and so really the 1950s saw some incredible things happening with people taking advantage of the technology. Now, unlike auto-tune in recent memory, the technology here made things better. They didn't make mediocrities sound better or bad singers sound better. They allowed the greats to shine. Then the stereo came along in the 50s as well, and boy, this stuff could really knock your socks off. When these living stereo records are clean and haven't been damaged, they do sound absolutely terrific. The way this recording fills the room is just a joy. Now over there in Europe, across the pond, they were even doing a bit more than us over in the States with the classical recordings. These London records that were from the folks at Decca sound absolutely fantastic as well. I'm more of a Baroque fan when it comes to classical, but this recording just sounds so incredible that you just get sucked in. Oh, I had another one. It's I guess it's gone missing. Now here it is. Now the stereo also lent itself to another golden age, the golden age of soundtrack albums, and Henry Mancini is one of my favorites from this time period. It's his movie soundtracks and his TV soundtracks. Even if you don't know the show, you gotta love it. I've only seen a couple episodes of this program, and it was a fun show what I saw. But this Peter Gunn soundtrack in living stereo is just a treat for the ears. Stereo got a bit gimmicky to promote itself. We have the ping pong stereo, but does sound incredible, and it's a lot of fun. They had a lot of fun with the stereo effects with the exotica genre. There's a lot going on in my decade. Now, there was also some serious music going on other than classical. These jazz artists that had been around for a while, they took great advantage of the long play record as well. This wonderful collection of Louis Armstrong playing music of W.C. Handy came out in the mid-50s. So my chair is just squeaking like crazy. The springs are very active today. Louis gave Fats Waller the same treatment. The great blues singer Jimmy Rushing, fantastic run of albums during this time period. I like his recordings with Count Basie as well from the old days. And these guys were having so much fun. They kept it up when the stereo came along. This album of Louis Armstrong and Duke Ellington getting together to play some Duke Ellington tunes. Fantastic album. Cab Calloway had some fun in Living Stereo. Now this is a 70s reissue, but my goodness gracious, Art Tatum's output in the 1950s was absolutely incredible. To record basically anything he wanted to. Those solo and group masterpieces that he recorded at the end of his life. What a treat. This is the kind of jazz I like. This time period. All stuff from the late 50s, early 60s. Fantastic. None of these jazz artists are covering Beatles tracks to try to squeeze sales out of the public. And there's no MacArthur Park or anything like that. None of that super easy listening stuff making its way into the jazz. And that's absolutely fantastic. Now, the jazz was also, oh my goodness, I'm running out of words. This was also the golden age of the vocalists here. So got one of the Ella Fitzgerald's songbook albums there. She was tops. Got Sarah Vaughan doing some show tunes here. Towards the end of my time frame, we got Dinah Washington, 1962. Destination Moon on here is about as much fun as you can get with a record. Got another fellow that had been around since the 20s, Bing Crosby, showing the youngsters that he could sing circles around Eddie Fisher and all the Johnny-come-latelys. And if he wanted to, Bing could outswing Frank Sinatra. He had a better voice. Then this R&B stuff that came out of the 78 era started turning into rock and roll. Some of these recordings, I think, are a bit earlier than my window, but the kids buying this album might not have known that. And this one has Blue Monday. And then we get proper LP release of rock and roll. I'm not sure when this Blue Label pressing is from, but sounds absolutely fantastic. And we even get some more modern stuff creeping in here. Bob Dylan. I've never been able to find a clean copy of this original in the wild, so I went with the reissue. Sounds nice. It has Don't Think Twice, It's All Right on there. Now, Again, I have cut myself off from Billy Joe Shaver, but there's a lot of terrific country music that came out during this time period. One of these artists that had been active with 78s and 45s finally got a chance to put out a long play 12-inch in 1959. Hey, he did a great job. Look at that wonderful cover, too. Moon Mullican on King. This is a reissue. They put it out in mono, which was smart. Again, I don't know when all of these were recorded, but I'm gonna fudge the numbers a bit. That's okay. Webb Pierce doing There Stands the Glass on this one of my favorite country tunes. Then we had this fantastic musical argument between Hank Thompson and Kitty Wells about what what God created women for. Some of the elder statesmen of Western swing were still alive and kicking. This is not a highly rated album, but it's a lot of fun. I'm using the word fun a lot, and that's because I think the fun's important. And Bob Wills, Tommy Duncan, they get together on Liberty and record in stereo. Fantastic sounding record. Perhaps not the most inspired performance, but it was a good time. I'm happy to have that. Now, Ray Price was quite inspired when he recorded this tribute to Bob Wills. He's got a youngster named Willie Nelson playing in the band with him. Here, Ray is he's covering a Willie Nelson tune. Now, I don't have Willie's original albums on record. I was too picky with them when I saw them in the wild. I always thought I can find a cleaner copy. But then Willie became popular, and it became harder and harder to find early Willie Nelson records. But this Liberty comp has Willie's early stuff on here. It's on the Sunbeam. Fantastic. And still got some more country. This old-timey bluegrass. Some of these fellows were still alive and putting out some wonderful records here on the great King label. And we've even got the arrival of truck driver songs. So there was a lot of good stuff happening in country music before outlaw country came along. What else was going on during my decade? Let's see what I got here. Audio Fidelity was opening up world music, and it became easier and easier to record artists from around the globe. Fantastic stuff. And one of my favorite sounds from this time period is guitar music. My favorite guitar player, Hank Garland, recorded some fantastic albums during this time period, as did Merle Travis. Now this is, I believe, a 1970s reissue. Sounds absolutely incredible in mono. These fellas at Capitol knew what they were doing. Back in the early days, the late 50s, early 60s, Chet Atkins was, he still could have a lot of fun. Sorry, my chair is making some wild noises. Oh, this is a fantastic one. Here's Homer and Jethro playing it straight, and you find out, my goodness gracious, they are really some incredible showmen with their instruments. Jethro, of course, went on to play with Joe Venuti on a fantastic Flying Fish album, and also played with Steve Goodman, a very modern fellow. Jerry Byrd, more satisfying steel guitar. Then we have our folk guitar. So fantastic stuff. Some more jazz guitar, George Barnes. Oh, that Elizabeth Cotton one was in the clearance, and almost about as mint as you can get. Here's a forgotten artist. Just look at the delightful cover there. Swinging Southern Guitar. This was Sheldon Bennett, the only album he recorded or is listed on Discogs. And this is a Canadian pressing that I found in Texas. Jimmy Reed's guitar playing also sounded incredible. And Les Paul, fantastic. All right, let me shuffle these records out of the way, and then, or shove these records out of the way, and then I'll keep moving on. I had a lot of fun with that one. And now we're on to a band or singer from Manchester or Greater Manchester. So I'm going to go with this Ewan MacColl. He's singing these collected folk songs from England and Scotland. This fella F.J. Child was a Harvard professor that was collecting tunes in the late 19th century. What's next? Oh, band or singer I listened to the most in the past year. I'll listen to Bach more than anything else, probably for the rest of my life. And when I see these Brandenburgs out there for cheap, I'll pick them up and give them a spin. Next up, someone we've lost recently, Tony Bennett. Is my favorite living singer until he passed away. And my favorite living songwriter when he passed away, Shane MacGowan. Next up, something I bought as a teenager, Kingston Trio. This one, you could say it also plays like a greatest hits. It's got Tom Dooley and Scotch and Soda. I do think it starts off a bit silly with Three Jolly Coachmen because they're singing in fake British accents. And they're not even punk rockers. Next up, a Channel Discovery. I'll go with one. I really enjoyed Vinyl Stockholm's Manifesto videos. Those were fantastic. And then I've enjoyed his other videos after learning about his channel from those. Now he has a very different taste in music, but he's a good storyteller, and his videos are fun to watch. Next up, I flipped those around. Something that's funk or soul. Don't have a lot of funk soul stuff. This is one of these fantastic albums from the Staple Singers, and this has got a lot of speckling on it, but it does sound terrific. Next up, something that everybody has, something that nobody has. Well, not everybody has anything. You know, when people show Thriller, I don't have that. I don't have the Eagles' greatest hits. I have Dark Side of the Moon on CD, but I don't have the records. There are a lot of big sellers that I don't have, and I figure that would be the same for U2. I do have U2, but I've boxed them up because I've had a falling out with those guys. They're part of my shameful past. Or past I'm ashamed of. I wasn't doing anything shameful. I was bamboozled by them, and I don't want to hear Bono's voice ever again in my life. Now, here's an album a lot of people have. It's the Bob Dylan Greatest Hits. This is a nice 2-eye copy. There is no poster with that one. It's been somebody must have put it on their wall and enjoyed it. Here's a record that very few people in the world have. It's a record that I can't find listed on Discogs. The main singer, the vocalist on here, I can't find him listed on Discogs. I haven't been able to find any information about him on the internet. And there is a copy of this record that somebody's trying to fetch a steep price for on eBay, but I just don't know that the demand is out there. This is an unknown record that's been lurking in the shadows for many years. Here we have it was this Lost But Not Forgotten. It's a Western swing album, a jazzy Western swing. This fella on vocals is a real old-timey sounding guy. Now this track opens up, or this record opens up with "I'll String Along With You," and the performance with the little plunking on the guitar reminds me a lot of Cliff Edwards, and in that way reminds me of those Milton Brown records from the 1930s. There are three players on here that were with Johnny Bush at different times in the history of the Bandoleros. So that's fantastic. This fella Joe down here, he's sometimes comes up in country music trivia because he's the fellow that had the keys to Johnny Bush's house that let a inebriated Steve Earle in to eat Johnny Bush's Rice Krispies, and Johnny Bush, I guess, I don't know if the story's been spiced up a little bit, but Johnny Bush put a gun to Steve Earle's head, and I'm not a Steve Earle fan, but that's a delightful story. Next up, what do we have here? We're getting near the end. Favorite personal video or a favorite video that I viewed recently? Well, I enjoy making videos with my brother Titus. Those are always fun. I did mention that Vinyl Stockholm video about the manifesto, and this manifesto is a thing of beauty. If you haven't seen it, it's got it on some high quality paper. The font and the spacing of the type is just it's breathtaking. And you know, even if you disagree with some of the points in the manifesto, that's fine. They're well thought out points, and they don't hurt anybody. Now, you know, it's not one of these manifestos that leads to violence. It just, you know, what it leads to is some people that can't handle other people's non-controversial opinions. They get a little bit upset because they sense judgment. But it's judgment that they put on themselves. If somebody has a different way of having fun and it's not wicked or sinful, my goodness gracious, let them go about their business. Next up, let's see, 90s classic, or no, everybody, whatever, again, a 90s classic. Oh, I did forget, I'm getting out of order, but I don't need to sit and argue with myself. She's great. Show a Lady. Ella Fitzgerald was, well, the top of the heap when it came to these lady singers. Look at how much joy is shining through her face while she's singing her songs there. Now, a 90s classic. The Johnny Cash American recording here. He's starting his comeback. And there is always something wonderful. Just like Joe Venuti, he was having a late career renaissance. And you can't really see it very well. He's holding a guitar case that's black, and it's blending in. There's the hinge on the case, but it kind of looks like he's just doing something creepy, like he's just going, you know. And you know, as someone who fears the occult, I'm glad he was holding the case and not casting some dark spell on us there. An album cover that you know, invites you in, you'd like to go there. I'm going to go with the inside gatefold here. I don't know if I've shown this one before, but one thing that I enjoy seeing is concert venues or music venues on record covers. And here's a place I have not been. This is Joshua Headley, Neon Blue, and plays at Robert's Western World in Nashville. And there he is outside of Robert's Western World. And I think it would be a lot of fun to go in the door there sometime when Josh Headley is playing. I know he was doing a lot of Monday night shows, and that would just be a great way to pass time on a Monday evening, escape all that hustle and bustle there in downtown Nashville, because it's kind of like Austin, Texas. A bunch of loud drunkards roaming the streets, those ladies having their bachelorette party weekends. It's something that really makes you want to seek shelter. Some records that play like a greatest hits coming up. I'll go with a couple. And these John Hiatt records, Bring the Family here. This is fun. You can see what hits came out of this one, or what songs that would go on the greatest hits compilation, or be played in concerts for the many years that would follow in John Hiatt's fantastic career. But this one with Ry Cooder and Nick Lowe, fantastic, packed with great tunes, as is this follow-up with Sonny Landreth. Fantastic. And you would think that, when you have Ry Cooder and Nick Lowe playing on your album, that it would be hard to match that. But gosh, John Hiatt and company, they don't miss a beat. My main complaint about these albums is this little flavor saver there that John Hiatt was sporting, and I just hate those things. All right. Next up, an album from 1974, another artist that we've lost recently, but look what he was doing 50 years ago. Kinky Friedman's second album, and in 1974, 50 years ago, I'm drawing a blank again. We didn't know that he was going to be one of these guys that would have another late career renaissance. Started recording new songs and albums prior to COVID, and then shortly before his passing, he laid down tracks for his final album. Singing the Poet of Motel 6, which is about Billy Joe Shaver, my favorite artist. It's nice to go out on top like that. Kinky. Do miss him terrifically. That's my vinyl tag. Showed a lot of records, did a lot of talking, but at 33 minutes and counting, this is a relatively short video for me, and I may have time to jump on that 2025 vinyl tag now. Well, if you made it to the end, thanks for watching.